Hello, and welcome to my channel. I hope that you're doing as well as possible. Happy Juneteenth. This day is such a powerful reminder of strength and perseverance, and also there's a lot of anger and a lot of energy for me around this day, just in terms of the history of this, how we're slaves emancipated and yet 250,000 enslaved Africans were able to continue to be enslaved for as long as they were. But I think this is a good example of an opportunity to balance our divine masculine when these feelings of anger start to come up. Really balancing this side of productive anger that really lights a fire underneath us and allows us to have the kind of passion to incite change versus this kind of rage within us that ends up kind of eating us alive instead of perpetuating change. And also happy Father's Day here in the United States. I wanted to create a video about healing your divine masculine for a while. And the funny thing is, one of you commented recently on one of my videos requesting a video for healing the divine masculine, and I had already planned on filming this in honor of Father's Day and also Juneteenth. So I thought this would be kind of a really nice pairing, especially since I love doing sessions that are specifically requested by you. So here we go. I'm just using a little bit of spray. This is frankincense. And if you are trying to balance and align your divine masculine energy, I really would encourage you to look into frankincense. I think it's a great essential oil for really spiritually aligning and inviting in a sense of balance. For me, I think frankincense and maybe sandalwood would be my two recommendations. If you're watching this, I would encourage you not to get hung up on gender here. This is an archetype of energy, and we all carry masculine and feminine energies within us, I believe. And so this is just about balancing this divine masculine archetype within us. And I think it can be really helpful. And I have a few tools here and behind me that I really hope you find useful. So I'm going to start just by spraying this in your aura. And this is moon water as well that was charged in the full moon, which for you would have been a few weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, but for me it was just the other day. And this full moon, and also just a few things that are happening astrologically right now. So Saturn is retrograde from, I believe, June 4th through sometime in October, I think, which is kind of perfect for this divine masculine healing and balancing. This is all about kind of discipline and structure, and so hopefully this is supportive for these different aspects that you might start to heal or manifest a shift for during and after this session. It's my hope that we start working on these and applying what we're covering in this session. So let's go ahead and light our candle and set our intention. This can be really beneficial, a session like this, if you have been feeling particularly angry or rageful, or if you've been feeling really competitive to a point that feels unsustainable and that feels unhealthy for you. I think healthy competition is a great thing, and I think it can be very powerful. But I think competition that's run away with itself, that's out of balance and alignment, can be kind of difficult. We just want to make sure that we're balancing that. So, how are you doing? We very often in this space, we talk about divine feminine energy a lot. We talk about nurturing ourselves and mothering ourselves. And I think it's really important to recognize the power and the beauty in fathering ourselves as well. So let's light this candle at A. If you have been experiencing some lethargy or maybe even a block when it comes to productivity or action, I know a few of you have mentioned that, then that can be another sign that you have a block in this divine masculine energy. And what can be really helpful for this is to activate this sense of self-esteem and productivity, inner strength, and all of that. So fathering ourselves is going to be really helpful here. Maybe looking to a figure in your life who is, again, this isn't gender specific at all, but a figure in your life who is a great role model, someone who has a very strong sense of self, who is very aligned and integrated, a strong sense of integrity. Their word and their actions match and kind of cross planes. It's not dependent on who or what they're surrounded by. We have a sense of an inner compass. There's a sense of calm, steadfastness. If you know somebody like that, if you're blessed to know somebody like that, maybe start to engage with them, see if they'd be willing to mentor you, or just maybe go out and have a cup of coffee or tea or a hike or something with them, or start following someone on social media. These little tapey things have not been working for me lately, if I'm honest. And try to connect with people like that. I think that can be really helpful. Just boosting our own sense of self, our own sense of confidence and self-assurance that our journey and our experience matters and is valuable. So we can, I believe, similarly to when we're balancing chakras in a Reiki session, we scan to see if there is an overactive or an underactive chakra. This is what our body scan is typically about. determining what's going on in our energy wheels of our body. And we can have a chakra that is overactive, and we can have one that is underactive. And with an overactive chakra, with each chakra that has different qualities, different aspects that you might be experiencing if you have an overactive chakra, which are very different from an underactive. And so what we want to do is just provide a balance so that there's a healthy spin and flow and movement to all of our chakras. And similarly, with divine masculine and feminine energies, we are really trying to achieve a sense of balance. If you are experiencing a lot of anger, like I said, a lot of maybe irritability, if you are always on the go with the to-do list, if you feel that your sense of self-worth is really tethered to your productivity, if you feel like you can't sit and be with someone and hear them and listen to them without wanting to fix a problem, if you're experiencing any of that, then I believe that we need to just balance this and soothe that overactive masculine energy. And if you are, on the other hand, feeling maybe lethargic, blocked from your sense of productivity, feeling like you just don't have much motivation, feeling disconnected from your sense of purpose or and I believe we have many different purposes. I don't think that we have one purpose that we're looking towards personally. This point in my development, I believe that we can have a series of different purposes, but it's all about choice and free will. But that maybe we feel a little disconnected from that, and we're not feeling motivated, and we don't feel the pull to perhaps connect, or the pull to get things done or live up to our dreams. We maybe don't feel worthy of that. This video is kind of a culmination of a lot of the things we've been talking about recently. Hopefully you will have recognized, I know a few of you will have recognized that, but hopefully that's helpful to you so that these sessions leading up can help you with this ultimate balance of this energy. And we'll be doing a balancing of the divine feminine as well. But that one gets a lot of attention. Divine masculine energy. Whoever, the one of you that left a comment about it, it's like, this doesn't get covered that much, and it's true, it doesn't. So on behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered and aligned self, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to conduct this Reiki session for balancing and aligning your divine masculine energy within. Now, if you'd like to specify or clarify, maybe balancing my overactive masculine energy or my underactive divine masculine, feel free to use the candle to do so now, or even set your own intention that doesn't have anything to do with this subject. And as long as it's in service, as always, of your and everyone else's highest, wisest selves, I will honor that intention and see it through time and space to where and whenever it's applicable to you. And you can use your own candle too, if that's easier for you. So I'll place this here, and I'm going to get started with some incense. Happy Pride Month. Okay. I'm not sure if that came through because my camera was dying. But happy Pride Month. Again, this energy lies within us all. I don't believe in gender stereotypes or that there are even two genders or any of that, but I do enjoy looking to different archetypes, similar to the Mother, the Maiden, and the Crone, that series I did here, just to help us understand the way that people in the past have looked to healing and self-inquiry and self-discovery, and maybe see what we can glean from ways that things were done in the past, and also looking at our archetypes for any symbolic meaning that might help where I am today and help me achieve further balance. So if it's not helpful, or if you find the notion of divine masculine and divine feminine energies problematic or something like that, I can totally understand that, and maybe just skip to the next video, and hopefully that will be more supportive of what you're moving through. Just wanted to clarify that. But happy Pride Month. So proud. So proud. A lot of reminders of where we've come, how far we've come, and also how very far we have to go yet. Okay. So just drawing the sacred symbols outside of your heart center here. This is actually more outside of your solar plexus. Lovely. So just moving this through now, preserving that intention that we've set, and also clearing any energy that's not in service of that. So when we're talking about divine masculine energy, like I said, this can sometimes get confused and misconstrued. And we can sometimes start to associate this with toxic masculine energy. When really, it's so different. Funnily enough, I believe that when we're talking about toxic masculine energy, very often I believe it's out of a sense of an underactive masculine energy, divine masculine, because I think very often, I don't know how you feel about this, but when I see someone engaging in any kind of toxic masculine behavior, whether that's misogyny, casual misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, any kind of just sort of typical toxic masculine behavior, that kind of energy, or you know someone who experiences that kind of energy, it's not a strong, confident, self-assured, fatherly energy. It's not a divine masculine energy. It's not a divine energy at all. This is really stemming from an undervalued aspect of self, where you don't believe that you are worthy, that you are afraid of everything, and so you choose to belittle others or hold certain beliefs that will make you feel maybe less afraid or seem less afraid. And so I think it's really about soothing the root chakra and activating the solar plexus and the heart center and inviting in a deep sense of love and compassion for yourself, an honest reaction to the way you're experiencing the world. And I think it's really important to find that balance, because I never look at someone who's engaging in violence or rage or any of these horrible things and think to myself, what a strong individual. It's always, this is a wounded person who hasn't taken accountability for their lives and who's afraid. It just looks very afraid. They are just very afraid. So it's important, I think, to find ways of healing this if you are someone who engages in that kind of behavior. We need to find ways of healing. No matter where we are, we need to find ways of healing. So hopefully through this process we can start maybe a dialogue about how we can support each other a little bit better as we're trying to heal these aspects. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of oil on my hands, mainly because I got a little bit of ash from our sacred ashtray on my hands. When we're talking about taking accountability, this is something that we can really start to practice, start to put into our daily practice in small ways. This is a great way of really aligning our divine masculine, or getting the little key into it. There was a meme that I saw recently that was like ways you can take a responsibility for your actions, and it was an egg that had broken, and the yolk and the white of the egg were on the table. The egg was cracked, just like a little animation, and there were 3 boxes underneath it that you could tick. The first one said, I didn't mean to. The second one said, it wasn't my intent, or it wasn't my intention to do that, or it was a mistake. It was like how it said something like that. And then the third one was, I broke the egg. So sometimes we just have to say, I broke the egg. You know what? I broke the egg. That doesn't mean I'm not worthy of love and compassion. Doesn't mean anything about my sense of self-worth, but it does mean that I need to hold myself accountable, acknowledge what I've done and a mistake that I've made, and let that sit on its own. You can explain and talk through things in order to better understand yourself later, but when we're taking accountability, we want to just sit with that. I broke the egg. It's not a great metaphor for me. I'm vegan and there's no, I can't think of an appropriate metaphor for this, but I'm sure I could if I put any thought into it. I just haven't. But if you can, I'd love to hear it. I'd also love to hear if any of you are vegan as well. I know a lot of you are, actually. When I think of toxic masculinity, I often think of a lot of conversations I've had with people about veganism. And I've had a lot of amazing conversations with people about veganism, but there's a real identification, I think, with eating meat and feeling a sense of identity with that, I guess. I get it, I used to be like that. Really had to heal a lot of that divine masculine energy within me as well. But just interesting. So one question you might want to ask yourself is, as you're doing this kind of work, is what's your relationship with your father like? And hold some space there for recognition that your father is a human being with masculine and feminine energies within. But maybe just hold some space there. Sometimes it can be hard to do without judgment, but just holding space there and compassion and just really feeling into what that relationship is like or was like. Or if you didn't have a relationship with your father, or you didn't have a father or father figure in your life, really hold space for that. Hold space for that space where a father figure was not occupying, was not present. Sit with that shadow of that, or whatever that might be. And if you didn't have a father figure, but you did have a wonderful family unit, then think about the aspects of fathering that happened for you growing up that are particular to this idea of the divine masculine. So things like maybe teaching you how to stand up for yourself, teaching you how to, what are some of the divine masculine aspects? It's a lot to do with the root chakra, so safety, security, protection, money, our foundational elements, home, that kind of thing, an ability to feel secure in our home, career, and just kind of connect with what that was like in sort of your formative years, and just hold some space there for that. Inviting as much compassion in as we can for ourselves and others here. But starting to connect with what your example has been can be really powerful. And like I said, connecting with someone in your life who is very self-assured, very aligned, has a great sense of integrity. This could be a really powerful way to reconnect with that divine masculine. There's a few things that you could do for that. I have a few stones that I did want to kind of use here, mess around with. And I'm going to start with this clear quartz, which can be activating, but also inviting in a sense of balance if you're feeling a little too activated. Really inviting in a sense of balance, a sense that what if you don't have to prove anything to anybody? What if you can move through your life and your experience just as you are? What if that's not only enough, but what if that's wonderful? What if you exactly as you are is wonderful? And I think the behavior that we exhibit that is based on fear, based on a lack of self-worth, or a lack of attention to self or self-inquiry, a lack of that. That's not really, I think, our true authentic selves speaking. So I'm not asking you to accept those aspects of self. I'm just asking you to accept yourself, removing all labels and all kind of identifications, and just starting to recognize that there is this beautiful emanating light within you. And what if you're wonderful just as you are? So just moving this clear quartz through. I have a few stones that I want to use. It's so hot in here. I swear my hair was wavy when I started. I feel like it's just straight now. I've really wanted to do a video about addiction for a while, and I'm trying to line it up with a sponsorship that I think would be really helpful and supportive. So, but if I'm not able to do that, then I really want to make a video about addiction. I've struggled with addiction and am very thankfully healing. So I've been sober for 7 years. It's kind of cool when you forget, I guess. But that journey is very connected to my spiritual path. And I think when we're talking about this masculine energy and balancing the divine masculine, talking about sex addiction, I think, is really important in this space, really recognizing and removing the stigma around sex addiction and really starting to have open conversations about what that means, what it is, because I am not going to get specifically into that in this video, but I am mentioning it. I will leave a link below to local chapters of, I believe the programs are SA and SAA. So I'll try to leave a link for that below. Just to connect with others who are moving through that, and just to really destigmatize all addiction and recognize we are all healing. And there are so many different addictions out there, and sex addiction is real, and I think it's really important to start to heal ourselves. Okay. Sex addiction was not my addiction, just to clarify. But I just want to mention that and send support. And if you are trying to heal your divine masculine and you are a sex addict, I think sometimes it's hard to know because we don't talk about it enough. And I think sometimes you just need that little someone to unlock it for you to say, oh, maybe that is what I'm experiencing, so we can start to heal. But I'll leave that down below, and I'm really hoping that very soon I'll be able to create a healing session here for addiction. Maybe even different types of addiction, because they're all so different. But like all of our sessions here, creating a session that's unique and specific to exactly what you're moving through, while also making it available to as many as want to receive this, can be a challenge to speak general enough so that it's applicable to what you're moving through, but also specific enough so it feels like it's actually focused and doing some healing. So we'll see what we decide on for the addiction session. I'm in a chatty mood today. Sorry. Okay. So the other stone I want to use is this androdite cliniclor. Hope I'm saying that right. With a few of these stones, I've never heard anyone use the name itself. I usually purchase them at local shops or something like that. And for this one in particular, this was a gift. So I didn't hear the actual pronunciation of it, but it's androdite cliniclor. Hopefully maybe write it on the screen. It's this beautiful stone that we worked on kind of a few sessions ago. We used this to balance the divine masculine, and I wanted to invite this here for the same purpose. It's a great stone for kind of that ancient healing of any of those past wounds associated with an imbalance in the divine masculine energy. So I'm just going to move through here. I think I'm going to come a little closer to you actually, and we will do some work with this stone. Okay. So let me show you this stone up close. And I'm just going to move it through your aura here. Just moving it around through your solar plexus and your roots. Just breathe. Breathe into your solar plexus and breathe into the bowl at the base of your torso. Okay, there we go. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to ask you to hold this stone in your receptive hand, just to invite this balancing energy in, up, and through. Okay? All right, great, here you go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Shivalingam, great stone for balancing our yin and our yang, our divine masculine and our divine feminine. And I'm going to use this move it through your aura and send this gorgeous energy through your body. I'm getting some of the oil in it, that's okay. Polish it up here. Okay. So we're going to take this beautiful Shivalingam and move it through the mental plane and then down, healing and balancing masculine within us all. Isn't this a beautiful stone? Can you see why it was associated with that balance, that yin and yang, the light and the dark, with this beautiful strip in the middle? Beautiful. Okay. So in your dominant hand, I'm going to place a piece of green garnierite. And I really wanted to invite this in for a gentle flow, sense of fluidity, very watery energy. It's a stone associated with the heart chakra. So I wanted to really invite this sense of cool, calm, loving, and compassionate energy. So we're receiving this confidence, assured energy in your receptive hand. And then we're putting out into the universe this healing, loving energy. And then I will ask you to switch the stones in your hand so you have a real sense of balance flowing throughout. So I'm going to be placing this in your dominant hand, okay? There we go. Okay. So with that in mind about this watery energy, I just wanted to share with you this Ethereal Visions tarot deck. I love this tarot deck, and it's by Matt Hughes. I think the Art Nouveau is just very inspiring. And so I wanted to share with you the image that I have in mind whenever I think of a balanced, powerful, divine, masculine energy. You might think that I call to mind the Emperor, but in fact, I think actually the King of Cups is a much better example for me of that divine masculine energy. I think all of the kings have a very wonderful, divine masculine vibe, but there is something about the King of Cups that is just so balanced, aligned, has a very zen quality in this deck in particular. There's another king, or King of Swords. Let's associate that card with cutting through the BS. When we are, not holding ourselves and others accountable for our actions. And there's the King of Wands. Then we can really start to fall out of our own sense of integrity. Here he is. This cutie. I like his vibe a lot. But there's something about him that just seems so chill, so calm, and yet so powerful. I'll show you close here. So here is this babe. And there's a real ease. It's such an ease with which he sits and gazes out. So trying to connect with a sense of ease and self-assurance and calm and balance. Or find an image that you can associate with that, or a deck that feels right for you in terms of this energy. But this energy, the King of Cups energy, I just really connect with. I have passion in my fingers still, sorry. I really connect with when it comes to the divine masculine. And so different, I think, from what we associate with it. But there's such calm confidence here. And so if we can really embrace this, and if you wanted to set up an altar for this divine masculine energy, maybe with some of the stones that we've used, you could use this King of Cups or a figure, whether that's someone in your life or a figure that you look up to and admire, that could really represent that kind of self-assured, confident, proactive, strong, empowered energy for you. Okay. So now I'm going to begin doing some hands-on healing. And I'm going to move close again for that. And we are primarily going to be focusing on balancing balancing the solar plexus and the root chakra, and then really sending so much love and light into the heart space. Okay? Now I'm just going to place my hands on your solar plexus to start here. Sending this gorgeous energy just a few fingers above your belly button into this space of confidence, into this space of empowerment and worthiness. So I'm going to place one hand on your back and then one hand outside of your heart center here. Just helping you trust this space, helping you trust your heart space, recognizing the power in your heart space as well, which I think can so often become overlooked when we're moving through this kind of energy. Good. Empowering the heart space. Empowering the solar plexus. And now placing my hands on your hips, kind of on your low hips, just really sending this gorgeous healing light into the bowl at the base of your torso, healing the base chakra here. Foundational energy. It's our first of the 7 primary chakras, and we're going to balance this with gorgeous, warm, glimmering light. So allow this energy to pass back and forth between my palms with you in the middle. Now placing my hands again on your solar plexus. So where can you add more structure to your life that would help you really connect with your sense of self-assurance and self-confidence? It can be as simple as making your bed in the morning, or as disciplined as maybe starting an evening or morning routine that's more supportive of the life that you want. It could also be surrounding accountability, ways in which you can start to hold yourself and others accountable. Sometimes this fear that can lead to toxic masculinity can stem from a fear of not having our needs met, a fear of being rejected or isolated, a fear of being alone. And what we really want to focus on, if this is coming up for you, is that you are never alone. That there are ways in which you can structure your day and your life in order to better support your favorite version of yourself. Your favorite version of yourself. And really connect with that. Try to father yourself. How can you father yourself? How can you be a father to yourself? Gorgeous. And one more time, hovering my hands outside of your heart center and just sending this beautiful glimmering light into this space, this love, this care, this kindness into this space, reminding you of your beauty and your gentleness and your worth and your value, of your ability to love and to receive love, and your ability to work towards integrity, accountability, strength and empowerment, and put into practice patience and peace. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are strong. You are creative and emotionally balanced. You are safe. You are safe, my friend. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night. It's, as always, such an honor to connect with you here. And I think sometimes we can start to feel in the spiritual space that is very, female oriented. There's a lot of content out there that seems to be specifically more of the divine feminine energy. And I just wanted to assure you that everybody is welcome here, and that no matter where you are in the process of healing, your process is so important. Your path is so valuable and wonderful and important, and you are so valuable and wonderful and important. And I really hope that you're able to find this session in some way helpful. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and until we meet again, be so well. these are the ritual healing boxes. I just wanted to show you inside. This is actually the self-love box. Each of them come with 2 crystal-embedded tea candles and 3 gemstones. So this one has a rose quartz, a green aventurine, and a unakite. Love that for self-love. They come with the same large incense cones. This one is a gardenia. And with this rose and vitamin E anointing oil. So it's rose with a vitamin E carrier oil, and that's just to kind of anoint yourself. You can do it on pressure points. I like to do it on my temples or behind my ears. And then you can have them in this box. Just kind of keep them here with your crystal collection. So the link is in the bio if you're interested. Thank you to everyone who's purchased one, and I hope you feel the love that I put into it. Okay. Can you come up on the pillow? She just wants cuddles. Come on. For today's video, I just wanted to do a little chakra activation. I'm just doing a little bit of balancing and aligning. But this is a new kind of video for me. I usually, speak directly to the collective instead of the individual. So that always happens when I'm trying to do it like a perspective. Maybe your perspective on things is a little clouded at the moment. I'm not sure if that resonates with you, but that's what I'm getting here. Just sort of being aware of what is coming in so that we can be more prepared to make that decision. I love metallic sounds. There's like clicky clacky sounds. But it does have kind of a funny smell. I'm not gonna lie, when I first used it, I was like, oh.